to talk about the importance of not caring too much about what other people think, but at the same time, there has to be a healthy balance. You have to care somewhat about what others think of you, and you also have to have a certain level of self confidence to where if someone says something negative about you, or if someone believes something about you that isn't true, you don't take it to heart and you don't apply it to yourself in a negative way. But there is a thin line between self confidence and self awareness. You do have to have a certain level of self awareness so that you don't go about life doing things to hurt others, doing things that shows that you have no care for how you appear if you do something crazy. You have no care of how you appear if you're just living recklessly. There are people who lack self awareness and they live their life essentially just doing whatever they want. And in doing whatever they want, they're hurting people. They're not being a good example to their loved ones, their family members, and friends. They're not leading a life with good morals. And they're not walking according to the will of the Most High. So you do have to be careful of lacking self awareness, but you also have to have self confidence because in this day and age, you have to have self confidence. Otherwise, this world will eat you up. You will be eaten up by this world, and it will be hard to function in this world. So it is important to have both of them. But there has to be a healthy balance. And here's how you have a healthy balance between self awareness and self confidence. So, having a healthy balance between self awareness and self esteem means that you honestly acknowledge your strengths and your weaknesses. So, a lot of times we all have flaws, we all have weaknesses, but we also have strengths. We have things that we're really good at, things that we're talented in, and areas that we hardly need to improve in because we quite mastered those areas of our life. But you have to be honest with yourself when reviewing those aspects about yourself because I do feel like we can all grow in certain areas all the time. Even if we feel like we're good in a certain area, we can still always grow in that area. And if you have that mindset of growth, you won't hold yourself back from improving. We should be trying to improve ourselves every single day. We should be self aware of ourselves every day. So if we do slip up, if we do make a mistake, if we do act out one of our flaws, we are self-aware about that and we're able to grow in those areas. But a person who can't see themselves at all and they're not aware of the things that they're doing will make mistakes and will do things and they won't acknowledge them. You don't want to be that person. You have to have a certain level of honesty, which sometimes it's hard to have. It's hard to see yourself. It's hard to be honest about yourself and say, I really could have been better in this situation. I really could improve this about myself. And it does take a lot of work, but it's necessary if you want to be a good person. Another important aspect about having self awareness, but also having self esteem, is being able to acknowledge your flaws and accept your flaws without allowing them to define your worth or define who you are. You have to recognize these are flaws, these are things that you would like to improve in yourself, but they don't define who you are. If you make a mistake because you're having a bad day and you accidentally respond rudely to someone, that doesn't mean that you're a rude person and you shouldn't beat yourself up for the way that you responded in a situation. But it is important to acknowledge those things when it becomes apparent to you that you responded in a way that you didn't like or you did something that you didn't quite like. You have to acknowledge those things because that's a part of growth. So acknowledge those things without falling into excessive self criticism. It's important to look at yourself deeply and judge whether or not you could improve in certain areas, but don't fall into excessive self criticism because that could tear down your self esteem. Self esteem is very important. Self esteem represents your overall feeling of self worth. Self worth is important because you do have worth, you do have great abilities, talents, you are unique, you are all of these things. But if you can't see that about yourself, it will be hard for you to level up in life. It'll be hard for others to respect you if you don't even respect yourself. But self awareness involves objectively understanding your thoughts, emotions, behavior, and how they impact others. So, while having self esteem and self worth is important because it shows other people how to treat you, If you don't have self-awareness at all, your thoughts and behaviors, all of these things will influence how you respond to people, which can also lead to people not respecting you, not liking you, not having positive interactions with you, which can also have negative outcomes as well. So, if you have too much self esteem, people will look at you like you're prideful, arrogant, and they might not like that about you. But if you have a healthy balance between self esteem and self awareness, then you have growth potential, you have authenticity, you have resilience. The list goes on for the things that you can achieve in yourself if you can have a healthy balance of self esteem and self awareness. So, when I say growth potential, I mean by being self aware, you're able to identify certain areas that you can improve while maintaining a positive attitude. So, not only can you motivate yourself to work on yourself by having self awareness, but as you continue to work on yourself, you grow and you start to see yourself level up in different areas that you might not have leveled up in if you weren't aware of the areas in which you needed to grow. And when I say that it helps with resilience, when you accept your imperfections, it helps you to be better equipped to handle setbacks and criticism. So, when you're being criticized about something or you experience setbacks in your life, you aren't discouraged by those things. You aren't down by those things. You don't look at those things and they put you in a bad place. They don't stress you out. You look at them like an opportunity to grow. Okay, I was criticized in this area. How can I grow? How can I use this for growth? How can I use this to strengthen myself in that area? And so you find resilience in criticism. You find strength in those things because you look at it as an opportunity to grow. And the other thing I mentioned was authenticity. Authenticity is something that we all strive for. We all want to be authentic. We all want to be our true self. A balanced approach to self awareness and self esteem helps to prevent you from either downplaying your achievements or exaggerating your flaws, leading to a more genuine self image. So, when you downplay your achievements, it shows a lack of confidence. And when you lack confidence, it's hard for you to continue in your achievements. It's hard for you to envision achieving more. It's hard for other people to envision those achievements or envision you achieving more. And it's just hard to get through life without any type of self-confidence. And it just doesn't look good. Believe it or not, it doesn't look good to downplay your achievements when you know you did that thing, you know you did it well, and you know it's an achievement that you're proud of, but you downplay it. Never do that. But another thing that you don't want to do is over exaggerate your flaws. If you pay too much attention to your flaws, chances are it will be hard for you to move past them. A lot of times people prolong their healing process from trauma and pain, and they prolong their improvement in certain flawed areas by putting too much attention to it, by putting too much energy into it, instead of looking at them, acknowledging them, and growing past it. A lot of times people put too much focus on it and they self pity. Self pity is not good and it should not be amongst self esteem and self awareness. When you start to pity yourself, you become complacent in that area of non growth and you don't allow yourself to grow past those things. You're too busy feeling sorry for yourself than to do something about it. You're feeling low, you're feeling down, and you feel like there's no escape out of these low feelings. And a lot of times people, they get into this mood of self-pitying and they find out that they've been stuck for a long time, and the reason that they've been stuck is because they've been in this perpetual self-pitying, this perpetual low self-esteem, low self-worth, low self-confidence, and they don't feel like they have the ability to do anything other than what they did do. They put too much attention on their failures and they feel like they can't achieve anything. So then they stay complacent, they stay stuck, and they stay in this box that they put themselves in, and they aren't able to advance in life. They aren't able to level up. And you don't want to end up in that predicament. It's a rough predicament to be in, and it really holds you back in life. So anyway, that's the importance of having a healthy balance between self-awareness and self-esteem, having confidence, but also being aware of your flaws and areas that you can improve in. I think that's one of the number one keys to growing and becoming who you want to be, is by having a healthy balance between those two. So with that being said, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, leave a comment in the comment section below. And also feel free to suggest the next video for my YouTube channel. That being said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and like. Peace and love.